What's your price so I may have her?
When I tell you, mount that harpsichord before you have my daughter.
£25 to have her now.
Seal bids, as I did for Charlotte, my older daughter.
I'll give you £30 to have her. Now on that stool.
That's out of the question.
£50.
In 1763 London, Margaret, a lower-class brothel madam, had her eye on a property on Greek Street and even put down a deposit. If she could just scrape together the rest of the money, she could move her business to an affluent neighborhood, finally escaping the harassment and chaos of the slums, as well as the constant oppression from her longtime rival Lydia. Her original plan was to wait until things settled down before figuring out a future for her youngest daughter, Lucy.
£50.
Lucy? What is keeping Miss Carter?
What a hellbound spider you are.
I'm clawing my way upwards in the world, Mr. Gibbon. Not down.
Margaret's biggest enemy was Lydia Quigley, who ran a high-end brothel. Lydia catered to the elite, judges, aristocrats, members of parliament, and high-ranking military officers, giving her powerful connections and backing in London's high society. Upon learning that Margaret was trying to break into the wealthy market, Lydia immediately teamed up with local magistrates and religious moral reformers to raid Margaret's brothel. In the heat of the moment, Margaret had her girls escape through a side door and made Lucy dress up in men's clothing to sneak out and get help from her older sister, Charlotte. Thanks to her relationship with the aristocratic Sir Howard, Charlotte had the connections needed to reach the elites and judges. Only after making sure all of this was set did Margaret finally open her doors to face the raid.
Margaret Wells, I'm charging you under the Disorderly Houses Act of 1752 that you do keep an obscene and bawdy house.
You lie, and your warrant is a trumped-up sham.
Oh, lady, don't make
Get your hands
In court, Margaret calmly defended herself, claiming the girls were merely tenants renting rooms in her house. She argued that they entertained their own suitors and that she was just collecting rent, not running a brothel. The judge hadn't handed down a final ruling yet, and it looked like she might just get off with a small fine. But right at that moment, her older daughter Charlotte suddenly burst in. Margaret panicked the second she saw her. She knew Charlotte's outspoken nature and worried she might say something that couldn't be taken back. She desperately tried to warn her daughter off with her eyes, but Charlotte only wanted to clear her mother's name. Taking the stand, Charlotte passionately condemned their cruel society. She argued that lower-class women were hunted and trampled on like prey, and that the law never actually protected desperate girls with nowhere to go. Her mother, she claimed, was the only one willing to take them in and give them a place to survive.
These she-hounds are a cancer in our city.
Margaret Wells should be commended for the way she runs her house. She is the exemplar of all the boards in London.
In your own words, you have admitted that your mother is a common board.
Little did Charlotte know, her well-intentioned defense actually became the key evidence needed for a conviction. The judge sympathized with the women who were forced to sell themselves just to survive, but he didn't see Margaret as a victim. Instead, he saw her as a leech who exploited their desperation for profit and fed off the suffering of others. In the end, Margaret was hit with a hefty fine of £100. Her dream of moving to Greek Street and escaping the slums was completely shattered. To pay off this massive fine, she had no choice but to prematurely sacrifice her youngest daughter Lucy's future.
You want to keep her immaculate? Fine. Let her marry a shopkeeper.
And see a man own everything she owns? Wouldn't wish marriage on a dog.
I'm worth at least £50, Ma.